what's up, Julia's here. The people are watching us here, and I'm getting hosted by Julia, so there's going to be more people watching here, so we're going to have to be on our best behavior. Dan Calachico, Dan Law 83, Craig Lagans, at Craig Lagans. Craig, right before we went on the air, some stuff went down, didn't it?
It did indeed, Dan. As you know, we tape our fine podcast, HIAC Talk Radio, on Wednesday night, the biggest night of the week for wrestling, or the second biggest night if you still enjoy what happens on Monday. But while AEW and NXT are going head to head, I chose AEW with the pay-per-view effect because AEW just had their most recent pay-per-view over the weekend, and we all know as wrestling fans that the first telecast after a pay-per-view has maybe some surprises, some shocking, some whatever. So I tune in AEW for the pay-per-view effect. And after a scintillating six-man tag team match involving the Young Bucks and Matt Hardy in one of his many identities now, after the match, the Young Bucks were attacked by gentlemen at ringside. I don't know their names. They were dressed in all white, and forgive me, AEW fans who do know who they are, but I didn't, or I don't. And they attacked the Young Bucks. But then all of a sudden, a black pickup truck just comes careening down to the ring, and two guys get out, Dash and Cash and Dax, and we know them as the Revival. And of course, we all expect they make a beeline to the Young Bucks, and they do. And then battle ensues. So the Revival, the Revolution, the whatever you're calling them, debuted tonight on AEW.
Here's the thing. That's first of all, that's awesome. First of all, why is Gator booing me? He just signs on to Twitter and boo Dan. I remember that.
Oh,
I remember that. I'm in HD now. Just see this finger pointing at you in HD.
I'm guessing Gator just not an Arcade Fire fan. That's the only.
How dare you? How dare you, Gator?
But that would be the only reason to boo you, Dan, for any reason.
That's a great. Thank you. I'm glad that was the only reason. I appreciate it. I'll take that.
It had to be. I mean, Gator's always been good to us. He's been good to the show. He's a loyal listener. He's a good fan. And so the only reason I can think of to boo you is he's
booing me again. He's booing me again.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Well, you know what? That's it. Next time you need something, forget it. I'm not doing it for you.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, go somewhere else. Because I'm not going to do it for you. Something that kind of made me laugh. He does actually like Arcade Fire. We're good. Is it the Genesis thing or the Ghostbusters thing? Is it the Alexa Bliss thing? Because Alexa Bliss is about there, coincidentally, this week. Wonder why. Which we're not gonna talk about that because I'm not gonna give the other person of why Alexa Bliss was in the news any publicity at all. Mostly because he has me blocked and he's a coward. So. Something I noticed when the Revival, we both know that's not true. Thank you, Gator. Something that happened when the Revival left the WWE, even during a pandemic, was I noticed all of a sudden people were hating them. Like, not everybody. Everybody said, we all know that's not true.
Right.
Craig.
Yeah.
But there was a
level of resentment towards them?
There was a large sect of people that were like, well, they weren't even that good anyway.
Blasphemy. You're obviously, yeah. And see, when people say stuff like that, I know they're not wrestling fans. They're entertainment fans, or they saw the way the Revival was used towards the end as a comedy act and then would label them as not being that good. Which, if that's, for the people that like that kind of thing, those are the kind of things that those people like. But for a wrestling fan, to any wrestling fans, especially the ones that listen to this podcast, that the Revival was and still remain the best tag team in all of professional wrestling. And they've been like that since they've been a team. They're still the only team to be NXT Tag Team Champions, Raw Champions, and SmackDown Champions. No other tag team can say that. As much as you may like the New Day or Street Profits or Viking Raiders or any other tag team, they're turning into comedy acts now. I'm looking at the Revival now. It's like when I see the state of the tag team division, they got out while the getting was good. Because if I
Yeah.
had to suffer through another Viking Raiders Street Profits sketch, um, I can't say I'm done because I was done, eons ago. But if that's the state of tag team wrestling now, where they're doing it with top tag teams, then the Revival should in no way get any resentment from anyone because they got out again at the right time.
Yeah, that baffled me. I did not understand it. I couldn't believe. I did reply to one. I didn't waste my time. One tweet I did reply to. They were like, "Were they even that good?" And I just said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
That was it. There's no need to fight or debate debate maybe, but there was no need to fight with this person." But I had to reply, "Yeah, yes, they were that good."
Yes.
But I'm happy for them because being that they were that good, I'm going to say that, yes, I'm happy for them. And, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't point out the times they had tag team champions, just like when Moxley left WWE and he was unhappy. I was like, okay, whatever. Every time they won the title, they held it for a minimum amount of time and they lost it again. I can understand the frustration with I mean, come on. People are arguing every week that the booking is garbage.
Yeah.
Why would we argue that it's anything less than? They're happier now. They'll be happier. And it's still a weird time with no fans, which we'll talk about in a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a weird time to talk about anything like that. Like, I understand talking about it like just to treat things as normally, but it's just a weird time to switch in companies with everything going on. It's just it might be for Arcade Fire is good. Thank you, Julia. Yes, they are. I don't know. I'm happy for him. There's no reason for me not to be. Rev, thank you for coming in too. Go ahead, Craig. Sorry.
Yeah, and when this started, there's a lot of curious things happened. We talked on this podcast before about the mass layoffs that happened right when the pandemic started, and it happened after the Revival left. But yeah, the timing of it is very curious. But again, like I said, I'm happy for, and this is just something we all have to write out as it were. The good, semi-good news, I guess, is that other major athletic events are making plans to reopen and to get the sports back. Whether or not we'll be able to attend those sporting events at all remains to be seen. But
whatever you do mean, Craig.
I mean, Dan, as you sip from your Flyers mug, and I stand here proudly in my Batman hockey jersey, that the NHL has already made plans for their long-awaited return, and because of that, there are other athletic vocations will fall into place, and when that happens when it inevitably happens with professional wrestling, we could see some more changes, and we could see more wrestlers have a bigger effect when we start having people there. And I've pointed out on this podcast several times, certain wrestlers just need a crowd. It doesn't take away from their ability or their talent, but some wrestlers will just do great with it with an empty arena. Other wrestlers need a crowd.
Yep.
And we can see some of this when it starts to happen. Some of these folks that we don't, normally pay attention to may finally get their just due. And in this regard, the Revival coming in now when there's no crowds, and they can start their appearances, stagger their appearances. So by the time that there is a crowd, they can, make their huge.
They won't be so rusty.
Yes.
Yeah. Just real quick, because next week we are going to be Obey the Puck's going to be talking. By the way, the Obey the Puck, since HIAC Twitter got shut down for no reason, it was in a suspension. I didn't get a warning for anything. It was, I think, because I don't run the account and there was like security issues on Twitter. They locked the account and I can't unlock it, and I'm not going to bug anybody to unlock it. I just told Dean let it go.
Okay.
Just let it go. And I'm also tired, social media intake in general. So the HIAC Twitter's gone and the Obey the Puck Twitter is going to go away. The shows are going on. With that being said, next Tuesday, right here, same bat time, same bat channel. Almost said that backwards. Obey the Puck will be talking about Kelly, myself, Paul, the return of hockey. Right off the bat, let's just see. Well, how does he feel about it? Wrestling's been going on. I'm not going to hold this huge thing about how upset I am that they're letting it's a dangerous game right now. So we're going to talk about it as very matter of factly, and I'm not going to share either way if I'm happy or sad. Now, that being said, speaking of hockey, Monday night Plexiglass happened.
Yes. And did you notice, Dan, when you tuned in to Monday Night Plexiglass, that I wonder where they got the idea to have people in the crowd from? And that we've pointed out on this very podcast that when the pandemic first hit and the WWE decided to go ahead with empty arena shows, and AEW didn't I point out, and did many people point out that at the Performance Center, there's at least 100 people there, not just trainees, but wrestlers, but crew members, gaffers, standby people, just waiting around, just backstage doing that. So why not bring these people out instead of focusing all of your cameras on empty chairs?
Craig, I don't know.
I don't. But so Monday Night Plexiglass was a welcome change of pace.
It was. And first of all, let me just say, it didn't feel any more forced or any more unnatural than Raw or than AEW. Stop it. It was fine. It was people reacting. They were told to oversell. They oversold. I kept looking for Shotzi Blackheart. I kept seeing her in the crowd. That was nice to see. You can't miss her with big green hair. She's when you see her on TV, make sure you keep an eye on her. She's great.
Can't miss her.
No, you can't miss her. Super nice person too. Deserves that. And I was very happy she was not released. It was nice. And they took two ideas from AEW once this started. The hard cam during the first Raws and SmackDowns was god awful with the empty chairs. It was stupid. It just was. There's no yummy. It just was stupid. They fixed that about 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks, maybe just under 2 weeks. They were like, "There's a hard camera." They did that. And they were a little bit late on the crowd thing.
Yeah.
Welcome change. It was. It makes the difference. It makes the difference, just like AEW. Oh, hey, Dad, what's up? Dad's watching on Facebook. Gator, I'll address that in a second. Yes, I hear that.
Double D.
Huh?
I said, "What up, Double D?"
No, Dad, not Dean.
Oh, Dad.
My dad.
Your dad.
That's LC, not D. Double D.
Oh, hey, Dad.
My dad, yeah. Not my podcast dad.
Okay.
Different dad.
Yes.
So, something that just occurred to me, because Gator said it, was my only gripe that Stokely, you're not going to call him Malcolm, my only gripe that Stokely, who was called Malcolm in the WWE, was not a heel. And that dude is amazing. What's his full name in WWE right now? I keep forgetting.
I forget it too.
Gator says hi, Dad. On Twitch, different site. You can stay there though. Malcolm Valley or something. But that man can out-talk most people.
Yeah, it's a rare gift.
It is a rare gift, and he has the gift tenfold. He really does. And it was weird. It didn't even occur to me. I was like, oh yeah, he's a Aegon. What's going on, man? Thank you for coming. So it does change the atmosphere. I like that hockey and wrestling were on the same page. I don't know why I'd be drinking out of this. They were on the same page this week. Overall, it made the show better, right? I think.
Most definitely. Because you see a pronounced difference because you realize how much professional wrestling needs a crowd. And just the people enjoying themselves, not even, and to the point where the matches are so good, or the wrestlers in the ring, knowing that they have a crowd to play in front of, you don't have to tell the folks in there to cheer or to oversell, because the matches and I'm going to attribute it right to the fans behind the plexiglass, made that show so much better. And it made the wrestlers so much, it made it mean something. And to the point where one of the wrestlers won his first ever championship, and it meant something to a guy like Apollo Crews, who I've written off, to other people written off. Apollo Crews is somebody who doesn't know the business will say, oh, well, he's not that good. He loses all the time.
That's a shame, because that's not true.
No.
Apollo Crews is amazing.
Yeah.
And I also had written him off. I'm like, well, they have nothing for him. He's going to be one of the guys that we never see anything from. And, well, they turned that around.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, Dan, I thought one of his the next push for him was going to come, and he's had several, was going to be a tag team with him and Ricochet. And if they package that correctly, they could have done amazing things. But that's a perfect example of a team that needs a crowd too. Not that they won't put on great matches
I hear you,
in an
yeah.
empty arena, but that's a tag team that needs to perform in front of a crowd if marketed correctly. But his win over
Andrade.
I'm sorry, because I want to call him by his full name, all three names of it. His win came out of nowhere because we've seen Andrade put on amazing matches and kick out of a lot of really devastating maneuvers, and a shooting star press and a backflip, and it was a 3, and I was remarkably shocked by it.
2 things. 3 things. Hello, Momo.
Hey, Mo.
I didn't know. I think I remember talking to you about wrestling once. We shall talk about that. You holding a convo, by the way. 2, this is why I get confused. His Twitter account is Malcolm Valley, but he's Malcolm Blevins in the WWE.
Okay.
Momo can hold a conversation for a while. Well, I noted. I will make sure that. I will ask the question at the appropriate time. And the other thing is Damian Dragon, our old friend, Damian Vargas. Hopefully Angel Garza, who I think is talented, boy, you said it, won't get it cut short for Cruz. I hope not. Angel Garza, I mean, chip off the old block, first of all, or times 3. But that's another guy that's criminally underrated.
Yeah.
And has been able to shine, albeit without the crowd, since this whole mess started. So sign me up for more Angel Garza and that whole family.
Yeah, the stable that Zelina has. I mean, I know the WWE loves stables, but when they put together a good one, you can run with it. I think the stable that you had, it's a shame that they took the belt off your prime one, but that's a stable that you can make a lot of money with, and you can get a lot of heat with.
Yeah.
And because you've got 3 distinct personalities there, and with Zelina there, she's a heat magnet anyway.
Yes.
And she can bump when the occasion calls for it. I mean, run with that. Seriously.
Yeah.
They should be a part of every program of the tag team, the United States title, the World Heavyweight Championship mix. They should be involved in all that stuff, like a good heel stable should be.
It also takes up TV time when they don't have full workers.
Yes, and you're still trying to fill 3 hours of TV, folks.
Yeah,
So
exactly. There's something I did not know. Damien just said Garza was pulled aside by The Undertaker on his one visit to the PC. He loved his work, called him a good worker. Kid has a bright future. Listen, I know somebody, whoever, I forgot who was talking to me. Oh, Rev. Rev was putting you over on the Not Harry Barnett show.
okay.
He likes to call this show the Craig Lagan show, so I officially named that, series that we do kind of every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
The Not Harry Barnett show, just to grind his gears. Rev was going on about your non-bias.
Mm-hmm.
How 1 minute you will say, I hate The Undertaker, I don't get it, I'm tired of him, but the very next second you will put him over and acknowledge his contributions, which is something a lot of podcasters can't do.
Well, it's most definitely because that's exactly how I feel. I cannot stand. I'll give you a perfect example, Rev. Bob Dylan. There's nothing about his
Yes.
music I like, nothing about his voice I like.
Yes.
But if you're going to do a history of popular music, it's
Yes.
criminal to leave off Bob Dylan.
Yes, correct. I agree 100. I agree with everything you said.
So
100%.
The same thing with The Undertaker. I wouldn't pay a dime to see him. I don't consider any of his matches to be classic. It depends on his opponent is what makes the match. But Mark Calloway, what he's done in professional wrestling, what he's done for professional wrestling, what he's done in terms of longevity and influence he's had on other people and his standing in the there's never going to be another wrestler like him. And this is me coming from watching him in world class when he wore a mask and he was the Punisher to
Oh
being
my
the Mark
God!
Calloway.
Yeah.
So the guy's been there and done that, and he will always have my utmost respect. And just listening to him talk, or just the stories he has, and just the experiences he has, and uh, he's like, I consider him like a this millennium Bernie Ladd. It's like, I'll just sit you down under the tree and learn you something, boy, and just just listen to the guy because he's got so much to teach and so much to impart. So I will always have respect for Undertaker for that. But you couldn't pay me. I wouldn't pay a dime to see him wrestle. I don't consider any of his matches classics. I don't consider him a phenom of any sort in professional wrestling. So thank you, Rev, for uh, appreciating my impartiality, but I'm unwavering. And speaking of, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to add before you moved on. First of all, Damien says that is true professionalism, sir. Kudos. I'm no slouch myself. I've said the same thing. Momo says, as much as I love The Undertaker, and I do love him, he needs to retire.
Yes.
And I agree.
And I wasn't a fan of The Undertaker before that, but then you turn into Santa Claus, and so it makes my resentment of him wrestling grow that much more. So
Harry Barnett said hi to you, and Harry, I just want to say the cookies that you don't have were very good.
Hello, great one.
Christy Janes is on AEW tonight. Well, I'm missing a F of a show, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm watching as we're speaking. First things
Thank
first,
you,
though. Thank you, Gator.
Yes, go ahead. First things first. Go ahead.
Yeah, have you been watching I want to say The Last Dance, but The Last Ride, The Undertaker's documentary?
Two things. You know how you feel about The Undertaker?
Mm-hmm.
I respect Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player that ever lived.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of a dick, and I don't care.
Yeah.
That's respect to what he did for the game of basketball. Space Jam is a great movie. A la Bill Murray saving the day. Michael Jordan playing baseball. Shotzi almost broke her neck. Where? What did I miss? Just chat, Gator. I'll acknowledge it. Sorry, dude. Yeah. I don't care to spend that time watching that documentary right now. On NXT, she almost broke her neck. As soon as I put her over, she almost breaks her neck.
Whoops.
Is she okay? But I will never watch that. I also haven't watched the Undertaker one yet because that brought me to my next point.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I told you that I went back to 1995 and started the Monday Night Wars and was watching everything chronologically in order?
Yes.
I got bored.
Okay.
So I started over
Mm-hmm.
to the first event I ever saw in person in 1989. And that would be the Halloween Havoc at the Philadelphia Civic Center.
Yes.
And I've worked my way forward. So far, and there's not that much on 89 on the network. So I've watched Halloween Havoc,
Mm-hmm.
a match between Good. It was nasty looking, but she seems to be okay. God, please don't get hurt
Phew.
now.
Yes.
Please. Ugh. We'll talk about that. Keep me updated, guys, because I can't really look at anything else while I'm trying to produce here. Momo, welcome back. We're all in agreement on The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
And my hot takes on Michael Jordan pretty much aligning with everybody's takes on The Undertaker. Respect what he's done. Respect his character in basketball. I don't like him.
Yeah.
And it's just because, the thing with his dad and other things.
Mm-hmm.
That's another podcast for another time.
Yep.
So I went to 89, so I watched Halloween Havoc, a match between Rick Rude and Roddy Piper in a house show in 89. Not a house show, but a recorded.
Yeah.
And Macho Man versus Duggan from 1989.
Okay.
They were just two random matches.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor Series 89, and I just got done Clash 9, Clash of Champions 9 with that Ric Flair match and Terry Funk.
Mm-hmm. I quit. Yeah.
Which I know you saw the tweet, and I'm just going to say it on the show. That match still holds up.
Oh yes.
That is a great match. When Terry Funk's on top of him, pummeling him, and he's yelling, "Give me the mic! Give me the mic! Give me the mic!" Do you quit? It is emotional still to see those two just beat the holy hell out of each other. That Sting slapping Luger.
Yeah.
Like, yes, hit him again. And he does. He hits him again. Survivor Series 89 was pretty solid. And here's an observation I've made. I know this is going to seem weird I'm making this observation, but I admit I've gotten lost in the I hate Hulk Hogan as a person thing for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
That my brain has erased Hulkamania. He's still a piece of crap. I still don't like Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
I don't like Hogan. I don't like Terry.
Got it.
Especially what he did and the fact that I defended his right to privacy and he still blocked me on Twitter. I'm like, I was on your side, stupid, but okay. Screw you, Terry. So I'll get Momo. I'll read that in a second. I'll catch up in a minute, guys. I appreciate your chat, but my ADD's kicking and I will read all of that. But in the late 80s, because I didn't watch a lot of WWF till like the 90s. I was an NWA WCW guy.
Of course.
Kid. When he could move and his neck, back, and knees were not bad, that dude was fine. He's still the guys that he works with, but he's no slouch. And as high as he used to get on the leg drop, I'm like, oh, okay. He's still a piece of garbage, and I don't take anything back. He's a piece of garbage. And I still say his WCW run was meh, but that was also injuries, and he still had flashes of brilliance. He still has one of my favorite WCW moments at that uncensored 99 where Flair and Hogan did the switch before Hogan and Rock did it. In the middle of that match, he starts hulking up for the first time since he went to Hollywood, and everybody went nuts. Great moment. Great wrestling moment. Don't like the guy. So let's go to Momo. Another hot take. Brock Lesnar should not have broken the streak. Craig?
I agree. I still think Brock should have gone over. It would have been just as big, but I
think he should have gone over and that should have been it.
Yeah, well, it should have gone over. That should have been it. If that was going to be his first loss, then that should have been it. He should have hung it up right there. But if that wasn't going to be his first loss, then I would have had CM Punk do it.
Yeah,
that was always my choice for who to end the streak.
Yep, I agree.
With the Undertaker.
Next message, and then we'll probably wrap this up and go to Wrestling Historian. So Shotzi's okay. It's not live, and if she really hurt herself, they wouldn't have shown it. She went for the trust. That's from Gator, and Damien said she went for the trust fall, full backwards dive, overshot, catch missed, hit the back of her head on the floor. Dude, I'm glad she's okay. Damn.
Yeah.
You think Strowman should retire Taker? It's over. Whoever beats Taker at this point, Julia, in my opinion, is that Julia saying that? Yeah. In my opinion, Momo agrees on CM Punk ending the streak. I wonder what Damien has to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Gator. So please write that down. You guys are all in different chat rooms. That's why you all can't see each other. just a heads up. Whoever beats him now, I don't care. It's over. Like and that's WWE's fault, and that's a shame because it was a truly shocking moment.
Yeah.
It was a what just happened?
Yeah.
And then it's gone now. No, CM Punk's not coming back, Julia. It seems Damien says it seems AJ is being built for Taker's last match.
Yeah. Well, see,
No, go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
I consider Taker's last match the match where he lost again and he left his hat and boots in the ring because that kind of was a symbol that he was done.
Yeah.
So any match after that, I literally could not care less who he did or what he did. But then when I hear that, oh, he and Goldberg and he almost got dropped on his head or the match that he and Kane had against Shawn Michaels and Triple H was such an embarrassment for everyone involved, even the fans watching it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that about anyone, especially anyone who had a great career, even if it's a career that I have less of a passing interest in. Still, a career is a career, and you don't want to go out like that. Even if you weren't a Michael Jordan fan like you weren't and like I weren't, you want to see Michael Jordan end his career like that against the Jazz, not on the bench against the Wizards. With the Wizards, even though it was right here in Philly, where his last basketball. That's not how you want to say goodbye to Michael Jordan, prick though he may be.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, I know it. Separated. He's prick, and I don't like him. It's got nothing to do with the career.
His last game, he went out, hit the game-winning shot against the Jazz like that. Pose.
I know.
That's it.
That's it.
And then that was the Undertaker. Hat and boots in the ring. You're done. Great job, man.
Gator, you want me reading that one? Do you care? I guess you wouldn't have typed it. I'm with Craig. I was there in Orlando and cried when he left his gimmick in the ring, and then he came back.
Oh, Lord, you cried.
Same thing with Flair. Same thing with Flair, dude.
Yeah.
WWE did it right.
Mm-hmm.
They had the match. They had the thing the next night. Emotional for everybody. There is Rick goddamn Flair walking away. And Impact.
Yep.
And we don't need to, other than the moments with Jay Lethal.
Yeah. But had Flair been more considerate or careful of his money, then that would have been his last match.
Yeah, you're right.
But that's, I've got no one to blame, but you got no one to blame but Flair for that.
Flair, yeah.
Which is why, because Flair had to come back unless he wanted to go to jail or, be in the poorhouse. But Undertaker has got no reason to come back at all because he's been there and done that and everything. So
Gator says to Craig, I cry a lot. Gator, I do too. I understand.
I as do I. Just never over wrestling, especially not someone's last wrestling match. I mean they're not dead.
Hey, I cried when WCW closed. You can use that for no, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
I thought that was good. I did. You know why I didn't? Because I thought Vince was gonna be telling the truth, and he's like, WCW is gonna. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Crying is fine.
Just cry.
I don't think I've cried. I don't think I've ever cried watching wrestling.
I've never cried at someone's retirement match.
No,
one of our former listeners to the show, Wendy, cried when Shawn Michaels retired, and she said it still makes me cry. I was like, really? Again, he's not dead, right? And like he's going to be on television again. And after he retired, Shawn Michaels was on TV more after he retired than when he wrestled. So
Momo, your message disappeared.
I
Did I hit the wrong button?
See, if it's baseball, football, hockey,
there it is.
When you're done, and you can say goodbye, and that could be heartfelt. But it's wrestling. Why would you cry in someone's last match during a wrestling match? It's for all intents and purposes not their last match, i.e., Terry Funk. I.e., hey, remember when? Hey, Dan. Hey, Gator. Remember when Roddy Piper had his retirement match at WrestleMania 3? And how many WrestleManias has he had since then? Do you understand?
Oh, I just saw the shots. Oh, Jesus. Damn, that hurt. Oh, Shotzi felt that. Oh, man, I felt that. I'll retweet it, Craig. That's nasty. I'm glad she's okay. Jesus.
Yeah.
Punk will come back before AJ Lee. Probably.
That's a safer bet. But
Punk's coming back. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah. And against whom? That's the more importantly.
That's true, yeah.
But I didn't mean to make it. You cry, Gator. That's fine. I'm just saying my thing. If you cry over someone's retirement, I get it. In a real sport, yes, because you're never going to see them again.
I understand what you mean, dude. Yeah,
but
I get it.
It's wrestling.
Yeah,
kind of save those tears for an actual heartfelt moment, especially when the Undertaker. Really? How long ago was that? Okay,
I'm a mark, and I really thought Flair and Taker were retiring, says Gator. Don't defend yourself to him. It's fine.
Defend yourself to me, Gator. Okay, Ben, because I'm still not getting that shit. I really don't. But it's okay. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you, Gator.
Oh, great. I get them back to listen, and you're going to insult our listeners? Great.
Never. I apologize for that.
Punk will come back for that big Mania payday. AJ, Momo, I think that whole thing between AJ Lee and Steph has kind of killed that, even more so than Punk not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel that. Where Stephanie tried to claim, without saying it, credit for the Divas Revolution. AJ was like, whoa, hold on a second. Wait a minute. I have an issue with this. So that might be a tough one. I'd like to take them both back as a package deal. And Punk's like, you want me back? We're both champions. Then that'd be funny. I'd laugh.